Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Okay, and this is part 2 of the hub bearing, just basically putting everything back together. And just a quick refresher on the tools you'll probably need, although some of the special tools you've already used. The axle pretty much goes in like it came out. You want to put it right up and in. Just give it a good push. Make sure it goes all the way in. Check it from down below here. Make sure there's no shininess showing there. It's all in. And take your axle. And push it right into the hub. Okay, now you want to pull these, your brake line and your ABS sensor wire. Basically push your suspension down and pull your strut right over. So it's in. Make sure your bracket is going down into the slot in the steering knuckle here. Okay. And then push it down. And just again make sure that that gets lined up with that slot. As long as you have that bracket lined up into the slot in the steering knuckle, you start jacking it up and it goes together. It goes right on. And you want to keep lifting, put this bolt in, and once that bolt goes through, you're all set. Okay, and now here I'm going to put the nut on the other side of that, and that bolt you want to tighten up to 100 foot-pounds of torque. Put your sway bar link back in. Put this clip back on. Just be careful with your fingers. Then you slide this down, over, and then on the back side, this little tab goes right through the hole in this clip in the strut and holds everything together, and then the bolt to bolt it together. Okay, and we'll fast forward through tightening that up. There's no specific torque, just make that bolt tight. Okay, and here we'll use a little tapping of the hammer. Doesn't usually take much to get that stabilizer link through the strut. Then put the bolt on, and then use your 18mm wrench and possibly your 10mm and get that link nice and tight. Again, no specific torque specification, just get it good and tight. Okay, now you want to reconnect your tie rod end, put that bolt on. Okay, we're going to torque this to 50 foot-pounds. Okay, and then pull it just a little tighter so we can get the cotter pin in. Okay, speed through putting the cotter pin in here, using a hammer, kind of beat it in there, and then I just bend it over with my hand to make sure it stays. Okay, I'm going to speed through putting the brakes back together, and if you noticed, you probably saw the brakes on there all together before. That's because I kind of shot a few different videos at once. Pretty easy. Larger bolts 65 foot-pounds, smaller bolts 20 foot-pounds. If you want to see this in regular motion, just check out our Taurus brake video. Okay, and now here I'm going to put the washer and the hub bolt back on, and then I'm going to grab my impact wrench. If you don't have impact tools, put your wheel back on and lower the car down on the ground. and then you do that. You can see I'm looking in behind. Basically what I'm doing is watching the axle go into the hub, and once I see the axle pretty much get all the way in the hub and the wrench slow down, that's when I stop, because I will want to torque it by hand with the car on the ground. Okay, so save you all the details of putting the wheel back on, but needless to say, put it on there, put the lug nuts on. I tighten on the lug nuts preliminarily with the impact wrench, and then let the car down to the ground. Okay, now with the car on the ground, that 30mm nut, I'm going to tighten it up to 130 foot-pounds. Okay, and now I'll put the little cap back on, the center cap. Just get it positioned right and give it a good tap with your fist or with a little hammer. And then I'm going to torque my lug nuts to between anywhere from 80 to 100 foot-pounds. Use a star pattern, so cross, 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 and cross. And when you road test, just be careful, go slow the first time out, and you should be all set from there. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.